So what clean comics are the ones that are fucking insane?
I don't know. They were just talking about it on there.
Oh, I just wonder if there are, like, I'm trying, because I don't listen to clean comics for the most part.
I think the example that was talking about was Bill Cosby.
Oh, well, yeah.
Where, like, he's just like, you put the pointing in the thing, and then the...
Maybe Jeff Dunham. Maybe they're just like...
Does he have shit on him? I don't even know Jeff Dunham.
I don't think he does. I just think he's like, maybe if he's slightly crazy, I mean, he does the ventriloquist shit, so, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think he would do crazy shit. I think he's probably at some point going to be clinically insane because he's just like talking to himself.
Yeah.
This level they did a fantastic job with too.
Oh, did you, speaking of Tom Zero, did you see Christina P's new...
No, I still haven't watched it yet.
Mother Inferior? Oh my fuck. It is... Oh my god, it's hilarious.
I have yet to... I haven't seen any of her stuff. I have to watch her stuff. I haven't checked her out yet. I have to watch her.
Dude, like... Oh my god.
She's extremely funny. I know.
Dude, oh, it's so good. Like, see, that's another one. Like that couple is just... Like, it's like my sweetheart couple. Because I love them both. They're both hilarious. And it's like... I want these two to actually be cool people that you never hear shit about, and they just grow old and die, and the best things always happen to them.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Because it's like, I don't know.
And they're just so self-aware of like what like their, like how they are, and like their fucking community and everything else. We're like, I think you'll get your wish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's like, well, you know, like in comic, like any comic kind of knows, they know their audience,
right. Yeah.
And they're super self-aware, and like any good comic is gonna be like that, and like people like them, and like fucking, oh, now I can't think of anything. Jim Jeffries,
yeah.
Like any of these dudes that I have loved for like ever. It's like I don't know. It's just it seems like the more self-aware you are, the more successful you are. Because
yeah, I do agree.
You attract a certain fan base that
and that's
are
like,
not going to go anywhere unless you start slipping GHB in bitches' drinks.
Well, and I think that was what their point was when they were saying like the cleaner comics are the one that are just like, you know, because these guys are like self-aware and they're just like, yeah, this is the type of comedy that's good. Like, of course, why would I not do this? And like, there's the whole, oh, well, you shouldn't cuss because, it's like, I don't. That's just dumb. Like,
well, see, the thing is, and one of the biggest things that one of my improv teachers, well, all my improv teachers said was, you don't have to be dirty necessarily to be funny, but if it works, it works, because you don't play to the words you're saying, you play to the top of your intelligence, and if that happens to be a really funny joke with a dick in it, then go for it. Like,
yeah. All right,
so
that's fair.
So it's like, and it's kind of like, I saw an interview one time with I'm horrible with names whenever I'm actually trying to think of them.
Oh, sure. I think there's this
Stephen Fry, where they were like, you know, do you consider foul language to be a sign of inferior intelligence? And he goes on this huge spiel, and he's like, fucking no. Essentially, it boils down to fuck no. He's obviously much more eloquent than I am.
Oh, sure, yeah, one
of
the most eloquent, in fact.
I mean, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
but
I actually saw this thing about...
it's like, it's fucking ridiculous. That was more Irish.
Oh my god, that was the worst.
Proper English.
Actually, like, I did see this quote from him that he's just like, I'm not going to get the quote right, but it's just like, people like to say you're offended, and he's just like, yeah, congratulations, you are offended. Like, it's not a bad thing you're offended. That's actually a check to make sure you're human. Like, I
can't remember if it was Stephen Fry. Might be Stephen Fry. That said, or maybe it was Ricky Gervais. I don't remember who it was, but essentially it was, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
Right. Yeah, I think that one might have been Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but
I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, you could be offended all you want, but that doesn't mean that you're correct in whatever you're defending. Yeah. And the biggest thing that I've been listening to lately is like, just because you're offended by the joke because of your reasons doesn't mean that was the intent of the joke was to offend.
Yeah.
And so like, and it's like, well, that doesn't matter. Well, of course that matters. Like, if they didn't mean to offend you, then you can not like the joke all you want. But you can't go around and say, well, this guy doesn't like black people because he makes fun of black people in his bit. Well, no, because he didn't mean to offend black people in his bit. Like, that's different.
Well, it's kind of like what happened with fucking Tosh. Like, when they had that whole scandal shit where he was like on stage.
Oh, yeah,
and they went all, because he fucking talking about some chick being raped or whatever. And it was like, I mean, there's no, you don't...
He addressed that in his last thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like you come to a comedy show with no awareness of the context of a comedy show. Like, you don't do that. Like, the thing about comedy shows, you kind of have to, like, above most other kind of performances, you kind of have to know what you're getting into.
Right. If you walk in, well, and that's like somebody asked Tom Segura, like, if he... like what better crowds, and like, it was a question about like crowds and if people walk out on him and stuff like that, and he's like, well, not at the Comedy Store, because most people at the Comedy Store know what they're getting into when they walk in there.
Well, that's exactly it. Like anybody, like, it's like improv. Like, when I go do improv, or like when I go see improv, like, you know what you're getting into. There's gonna be weird shit, like, but it's like, nobody's gonna get offended.
Right.
Like, that's the whole thing. Like,
that's the whole point.
We don't do it to offend you. Like, don't make it what it's not. But there's also measures in, now that being said, improv is not the same, because it is you are doing things off the top of your head. You're not calculating it out in an actual set.
And you're not.
So, but if you're a good enough comic and you do stuff and it comes off a certain way, if your timing's good, then it doesn't matter, because everybody else knows you're joking. But somebody who takes obvious offense at everything is going to be, no matter what you say or how you time it, they're going to be like,
yeah.
It's all these social justice warrior things, like,
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about correcting injustices, but if you
are making up the injustice,
it's really not useful at all. It hinders trying to change the things that are actually wrong.
Dude, you've gotten hit by every single fucking one of those.
And it's funny because we're talking about shit. We should probably make this do like the podcast version. Just take all the audio out of this, because this is more podcast talk than actually making fun of fucking Spyro right now.
It's true, it is. But I feel like it's fine. Like,
yeah,
we can't.
Maybe, yeah, we'll consider this episode like the preview to our podcast.
Yeah,
because podcasts will probably be like more serious, where we'll talk about subjects.
And Ethan won't be distracted by robots shooting at him and get hit by every one of them anyway. Yeah. No, we are planning on a podcast. It's just not. We don't have all the stuff yet for it, but we will be getting it.
But yeah, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Spyro. Let's turn this down. Well, you know what? Let's keep talking about our other shit, and then when I get to the new level, that would be a good cutoff point.
Well, I don't judge it by that, but yeah. I judge it by how long 10 minutes has been.
So we probably did like 10 minutes worth of that shit.
Who knows? I don't know. I'm not looking at it. I'll find out later and be like, man, we went on for like 25 minutes on fucking sucking Tom Segura's dick.
I know, right?
Oh, man.
Which apparently he needs anyway, because he's out making babies. And so, Actually, that was probably forever. Like, I don't know what the timing was on the, like, I know.
They've had both kids.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so.
If that was what you were in reference to.
Well, recently, like I saw The Degenerates, and I wasn't sure in what.
She was still pregnant in that, I believe. But
she was, like, super pregnant.
Yeah, she just recently had the kid, like, a few weeks ago. Because, like, again, I've just been listening to the podcast. Actually, it was really funny because I was listening to that podcast and I was laughing, like, at clips that they were doing, and I was like, I have to know what this clip is from. And I went back 70 episodes to find where the original clip was from, and I've just been listening from they're on episode like 474 or some shit, and I went back and started listening to like episode 403 because
really, you didn't go all the way back?
to the episode 8 years ago?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
I do that like well.
I might end
I've
up
done
there.
that with certain podcasts and things. So
I did with Chris D'Elia's podcast.
Yeah.
That shit's pretty funny.
I don't know. Like when I watch his stand up, I just don't connect with it. So
Really?
I've never like gotten into it.
He's
that
really
much.
funny. His stand up is a little bit different than how he actually is, I think, to be honest with you. His podcast is really cool if you
I
want
might
to check
give
it
it
out.
another try though.
It's called Congratulations.
That could be what part of our podcast is just ripping other people's podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this shit.
Oh, this is what I like.
I mean, that's pretty much what all podcasts are. Is like this shit's what I like.
Yeah,